Welcome to this conversation between Sambhaji Bhagat and Abhishek Bhosale on the future of anti-caste cultural politics in India. Sambhaji Bhagat will reflect on his artistic journey and speak about the role of music in shaping anti-caste cultural politics in India. Unfortunately, he's not very well today, as you will be able to notice in a second, so he won't be performing songs today. But on our website, we will be putting up some links so that you can listen to other of his performances. And we will play it a little bit here to see how well his voice is holding up. And he has a lot of speaking engagements, so we don't want to tire him out. But just a few more words on Sambhaji Bhagat. He's one of Maharashtra's most influential cultural figures, a musician, Lokshahir, and activist, whose work spans artistic, intellectual, and social justice spheres. Renowned for his purposeful use of folk music, he gives voice to the struggles and aspirations of marginalized communities, particularly Dalits, and his performances across India function not simply as entertainment, but as an instrument of political education and resistance. His academic engagement and long-standing participation in social movements further reflect his commitment to challenging structural inequalities. So Sambhaji Bhagat, thank you so much. We're so honored and delighted that you made time for us in your busy schedule, and we're very sorry that not feeling better, but we know it's quite heroic of you to still have joined us. So thank you so much. Today's event is the second event in the CADALFEST series that was curated by Abhishek Bhosale. And for more information about the other events, the one that happened 2 weeks ago and the one that's going to happen in July, please visit the Bonington Gallery. A few more words about Abhishek Bhosale, in case you have missed the last session where I introduced him in more detail. He is a writer, journalist, and doctoral researcher whose work emerges from more than a decade of engagement with caste, land, and everyday political life in Western India. He's currently based in London, pursuing his PhD at SOAS, and his thesis is entitled Land for Emancipation, Development with Dignity and Dalit Land Struggle in India. He's also serving at SOAS as president of the SOAS Ambedkar Society, curating events that bring Ambedkarite ideas into dialogue with the global student movements. This CADALFEST series is funded by Nottingham Trent University, the University of Montpellier, Paul Valéry, and Bonington Gallery, and we're all very grateful to them. And today's session will begin with a conversation, hopefully followed by Q&A. We'll see how Sambhaji Bhagat's voice will hold up. And so if you have any questions, you can put them in the live chat, but we can't guarantee that he will be able to answer them. So finally, I'd like to thank Bonington Gallery for organizing this event with us, and of course, Abhishek Bhosale for curating this event. I'm very much looking forward to you. So now over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity, and again, giving opportunity to have conversation with Sambhaji Bhagat. It's a great honor whenever I have discussion with Sambhaji Bhagat because first time in last July, we invited him to UK for the Anti-Caste Jalsa or the concert in SOAS, University of London. And after that, he again visited to London in November. And so consistently, I am seeing this opportunity or today's conversation as a continuation what we are discussing from last 1 year. And that's why today we are going to discuss about the future of anti-caste music in India. Because last time we discussed about in the last 1 year, we are discussing about the history, what's happening in the anti-caste musical spaces in India. And this time, today we are going to discuss about the future of anti-caste music. So I welcome Sambhaji Bhagat in today's conversation. And let me tell you with a great happiness and honor that Sambhaji Bhagat currently he's very occupied because he's elected as the president of one of the important annual literary gathering in Maharashtra, which called as the Vidrohi Marathi Sahitya Sammelan. The actual translation, we can use that Vidrohi means the rebellious or the revolutionary. Marathi is a language in Maharashtra. Literally, Sahitya means literally literature festival. So it's a big thing in Maharashtra, and the tradition is that the person who get elected as the president of this festival different various organizations from Maharashtra, the progressive organization, left organization, Ambedkarite organizations, anti-communal organizations. They invite the person who is elected as a president. They felicitate him, and it's one of the interesting strategy of mobilizing masses for the festival. So Sambhaji is traveling various corners of Maharashtra from last 2 months. And considering the weather in Maharashtra now, it's of around 41 degrees Celsius, going in different places. So his throat is not well. And in next couple of days, he's delivering his presidential address in Satara, which is one of the important place in Maharashtra because of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So it's a big thing and big honor for all of us to have Sambhaji Bhagat today with us. Welcome, Sambhaji Dada.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So Sambhaji Dada, I will not take more time on talking the different thing, but I will directly come with your style of performance. And whenever you perform, so I will, whenever I discuss this thing with Sambhaji, I always go back to my own childhood. And I remember I heard Sambhaji Dada first time in 2008 in my small town called Latur. And I was quite impressed as a college student listening his radical voice and his narration and the presentation. And whenever he perform, so I listened him more than 50 times or 50 concerts till today. And whenever he perform, he use a very interesting phrase. He tells audience at the beginning of the performance, he tells that I'm here not for entertain you or entertainment. I'm here to disturb you. So I will just want to start or begin with this thing. Sambhaji Dada, when we will talks about the anti-caste music, why this music is important to disturb the people and not to entertain the people or the masses?
First of all, we must understand that we people are fighting continuously. Always there is a crisis in our life. Sant Tukaram said, Ratrandina amma yuddhacha prasanga. Every day we are fighting. So when we are fighting, how we can say that we should have entertainment? This is not time to entertain ourselves. The upper caste people can take that opportunity. But people like you and me cannot do this thing. And that's why I always say there is a time, there will be a time when we will be, we will be emancipate our country, our people, and then we will have entertainment. Till that, we must come and fight. And when we are fighting, there should be a disturbance. We should disturb people, organize people, and go and fight. That's why I always say कि भाई ये लड़ने का वक्त है, ये एंटरटेनमेंट का वक्त नहीं है. और इसके लिए बार बार कहता हूं, I am not here to entertain you. I am here to disturb you.
Right. And it's a very important thing. And what Sambhaji talked in Hindi, that he said this is a time for fight, not for the entertainment. And that is the whole crunch of his performance. And his work is complementary to what anti-caste movements are doing in India. And he's bringing caste, class, gender, regional identities, racism together in his song. Sambhaji Dada, you mentioned about Tukaram, one of the important sant from Maharashtra. So just before talking about the future, can we trace the history of Jalsa's tradition? What is meaning of Jalsa, and how you situate the Jalsa tradition in the progressive trajectory of Maharashtra or India?
First of all, we must trace our history. As you know, our society gone through matriarchy. Matriarchal society was there before 2000 years. And there was goddesses of lower caste people. So the people who worships goddesses, so they were worship goddesses through their songs, and that is the origin of Shairi Jalsa. Shairi, not Jalsa, Shairi Parampara. It is a tradition that traveled to medieval period. Medieval period, we found in 13th century, there were people who were, singing on the platform, where the village's platform, but I don't know the names of that people. I don't remember. But the tradition was traced in 13th century. There were people who was actually comes in the middle of the village and sing about village's problem. Then in 17th century, you see Shivaji's great regime was there. Rajya Rajya, people's power. And when Shivaji was fighting, there was one incident in Pratapgarh when he killed Afzal Khan, and Jizau was there on a different place. The first time the historical evidence we found that Agindas, a name of the person or Shair, is Agindas who describe everything, all these incidents, how the Shivaji killed Afzal Khan on Pratapgarh. So he went to Jizau, the mother of Shivaji, and he sang the ballad, which is called Pawada. And then Shivaji Maharaj, actually Shivaji was very interesting king, who actually gave such places to artists in their CID department, what we can say. So the Agindas, when he came to know that the Agindas sang for his mother, so he offered one gold kada. Kada is what I don't know. The bracelet,
Yes.
gold bracelet. So that is the evidence of that thing is there. Then after, there was a counter-revolution, and all the Shair was serving feudal lords in Pune. That is called Peshwai. After that, as you know, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule was a great revolutionary, social revolutionary, and he organized all these, what we can call tamasgir, shairs, ballads.
Yes.
And then he started Satya Shodhaki Jalsa. Satya Shodhaki Jalsa.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a really great thing. After Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, in 1920s to 30, 20 to 30, that is very interesting period in history of India. We see the Mahatma Gandhi was, elected as a, leader of the Congress. Then there was a establishment of CPI, Communist Party of India. Then Dr. Ambedkar started his movement in Mahar. That all these movements have their own shines, their own ballads. So that is very interesting. The history after 30, you can see CPI established Lal Bauta Kalapatak.
Right.
Then IFTA, this Mahatma Gandhi and other people were also having their own people, their own troops, those who went to village and propagate freedom movement. Okay. Then Ambedkari Jalsa was formed by retired military people and tamasgins, the tamasha artists. So that was actually first evidence was found in 1927. Dr. Ambedkar was fighting for water, that is Saudartale Satyagraha. So we can see how the political movement was very important. We
Right.
cannot deny that thing. But equally, the cultural movement started by these village people and retired Mar battalion people. So that was actually developed in 1913. There was a Kalaram Mandir Satyagraha. Dr. Ambedkar was fighting for temple entry in Nashik. And there was a very big movement for 5 years. That Satyagraha was, the duration of Satyagraha is 5 years. So around Nashik, there were some tamasha artists, and they came together. And then the tradition was, after the death of Ambedkar, Dr. Ambedkar, there was a Panther movement. There were also some singers. And after that, the Qawwali tradition started. In between 1937, 38, socialist movement also started their own Kalapatak called, Samajwadi Kalapatak. Communist people were having their own Kalapatak. Then in 1952 to 1956, after the death of Ambedkar, in that period, Sayukta Maharashtra movement was going on, and Amar Sheikh and Anna Bhausake, the great poet, balladeers, there was a very important thing that should be kept in mind. Dr. Ambedkar was there, S.M. Joshi, Atre, Dange, communist leader. They were political people. They were running this political movement. Equally important that Amar Sheikh, Anna Bhausake, and Gavankar, Atmaram Patil, and some of Dalit Shahis, they fight for Sayukta Maharashtra. After that, Ambedkarite movement was, cultural movement was captured by Qawwali and Sangeet Wali. And when I came in movement after around 80, I saw the Ambedkarite movement was they were fighting for renaming of Dr. Ambedkar's name to Marathwada Vidyapit. And I was part of that movement. I saw that the Jalsa tradition is dead. Then in 80s, around 99, I was studying. After 99, I revived that whole tradition, and the Shairi Jalsa, Ambedkari Shairi Jalsa, that is Vidrohi Jalsa, was started again. Now the communist movement, socialist movement, Ambedkarite, this Nari Mukti, women's league movement, and even environmentalists, they are also having their own troops and they're fighting. So this is a brief history of Maharashtra oral tradition.
Thank you so much. It's a very big thing. You, in just 5-10 minutes, you summarize 400 years history of cultural movement in Maharashtra. And specifically, I will say it's a counter-cultural movement in Maharashtra. But it's very interesting for our audience to tell that whatever Sambhaji is saying, these cultural traditions are still alive. For example, if you go to the Bhakti Sampradaya, people still today, they walk for around 200 to 300 kilometers. They sing for God. And the whole Bhakti tradition in Maharashtra is considered as one of the revolutionary counter-cultural tradition. And I will go back to Sambhaji again to ask the question, but when we are talking about the anti-caste musical tradition again, it has different forms and structures. So, for example, Sambhaji is mentioning about the Ambedkari Jalsa, and he is a prominent artist in the Ambedkari Jalsa format, which is a part of the Ambedkari anti-caste musical tradition in India. But there are different forms also, though that some forms people are singing, praising Baba Sahib, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Gautam Buddha, Ramai, Bhimai, and Mahatma Phule, Savitribai Phule's song. They are praising their life, their thoughts. And I remember recently I wrote a piece in The Wire about a artist from a small town in India, how he go door to door and perform anti-caste songs for the people. And these people, you will find these people everywhere in every corner of Maharashtra. Okay, and we are in the first week of May. The last whole month, April, that we celebrate as the Dalit History Month because of the birth anniversary of Mahatma Phule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Everywhere in every city, you will find people are singing thoughts through the songs, and they are inviting artists. People are having the big concerts in everywhere. So, Sambhaji Dada, you have now have created a big canvas for the discussion, because you talked about the 400-year of history of folk music, Shahiri Parampara, you have talked about the truth sickle Jalsa. For audience, the Jalsa is singing together. Okay, the literally translation of the thing, just come together, sing together. Okay, that is the Jalsa's tradition. So, Sambhaji, how these different forces, the musical forces in India or Maharashtra, shaped your own writing and performances. For example, how you brought a folk tradition in your song. For example, I remember one of your song called Baya Pahatecha Pari. You bring that the whole folk tradition into the anti-caste musical tradition, and that song is quite interesting. I will just give the narration of that song. Because of somebody's throat is not good, he will not sing that song, but I will tell you about that song. This song, Baya Pahate Chagapari. So the English translation of the song is "Shake or disrupt the village platform that holds the power." This song is voiced through a village woman who expresses admiration for a local singer's powerful call to action. The singer urges the people to shake or disrupt the central platform of the village, a space where high caste men convene to make decisions regarding the village economic and social matters. This platform, in Marathi we call Saudi, symbolizes a site of entrenched authority from which women and Dalits have historically been excluded. And I remember when I heard that song from you, you bring the whole folk narrative from Maharashtra. So, how the different tradition, for example, the Shahiri tradition, left musical traditions, how that shaped your own work and your journey?
See what I do. I am not that way a very great uh, musician or great writer. I learn from the people. Simply, I go to the people, not to teach them. I go and learn. If you are able to hear me, that will be the best thing because my voice is not working. But I'll try my best to talk to you. See, I go to the people. So this song particularly was, Abhishek was describing. Uh, I went to Potras. Potras is a worshipper of Kalubai, the goddess Kalubai. So there is a Ovi form. Their form is Ovi. I went to these people. I stayed there and I bought many tunes from them. There was some, they were talking about how goddess Kalubai is great. I brought all these things. I studied all these songs, and I wrote one song. The, we, I have my own laboratory. I bring all these things, and I revolutionize it because the content changes, the form automatically changes. Not automatically, but it changes. So what I do, I revolutionize folk into revolutionary folk. I transform simple folk to revolutionary folk. So that is my job. That is my work. So many songs I can tell you. I cannot sing now, but if मेरा आवाज अगर ठीक होता तो फिर मैं
Right.
बोलता कि original tune and revolutionized tune. It is
Right.
entirely different things. But I go to the people because my people are actually owner of the oral tradition of India. Because the Brahminical forces never allowed us to learn, to go to the school and learn something. That's why we have very big oral tradition. And I am talking about very few things. But India is a godown. India is a hub. India is a stock of oral tradition. So I go to the people and I learn from the people. I write myself, I make my music, and then again I go to the people and I sing for them. If they will not understand, I come back and I change it. If once what happened, I was when I came to Bombay, I was very much influenced by Namdev Dasar and Grace. So I was actually fan of Namdev Dasar. Or I was very influenced by Namdev Dasar. The Namdev Dasar and Grace, they were talking, they were writing the great poetry. And I was also, imitating them. But once what happened, I was writing very, durbodh, which cannot be understood by common people. So once I went to my mother and I read my poetry to my mother, and mother couldn't understand single word of that thing. That time I decided, no, I should not write this type of things. I should write a poem or song which will be understood by my people. And there I started, Jalsa. So I go to the people. So my method is very simple but very difficult. Go to the people, learn from the people, come to our laboratory, change it, write something new, make new music, and take it to the masses. If they will not understand, come again, change it, because we are writing for my people. That's all.
Right, right. And what you mentioned is very powerful, bringing the experiences, lived experiences, voices, music, tunes from the people and singing for the people. Actually, it makes a full circle, actually, what we talk about the democracy. So it is the musical democracy tradition that you have created, and that makes your work more powerful, more radical, whenever people. So whenever Sambhaji performs, I have seen him performing in front of 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people at a time. Just imagine one artist is performing for 10,000 people. So that is the power of his work, anti-caste musical tradition in Maharashtra. But Sambhaji Dada, I would like to ask how this tradition or how your work or other anti-caste musicians work complement anti-caste movement. Okay, I don't want to differentiate musical tradition from the politics. I know music itself is a politics, but for the sake of the discussion, how it complementing the movements going on the ground, unions, movements, parliamentary politics, which is talking about the caste and the anti-caste movement in India?
There are many examples. If you take any struggle in Maharashtra, anti-caste struggle, after the death of Ambedkar, there was a Panther movement. And Panther people were having their own poets and singers. After that, the influence of our song on the people, which actually brought change, that is in
Hello? Hello? Yes.
Vidyapit,
Yes, Dada, please
Marathwada
go on.
Vidyapit,
Yes,
as
yes,
a Dr. Ambedkar Vidyapit. So I was in Marathwada, different places, and I performed there. At that period, we were having very big morchas. So before that morchas, I and my team, my people, my singers, we were roaming around the Marathwada and organize people for the morchas. In Girni strike, the mill strike, the famous mill strike in Bombay, I was actually myself, Vilas Gogre, and street theatre team, Jagar, Awan, Sadak Natak Charwal, different. So we were actually fighting for our worker, mill worker, and
right.
Dr. Datta Samant himself, he said that we are fighting, but these cultural activists are also equally important. They are also working very nicely. After that, Dr. Datta Samant was murdered, and that was a very bad thing. But he once said me that you come with me, we both will be together. I will give bhashan, I will give speech, and you sing. After
Right.
that thing, Dr. Datta Samant was murdered by some anti-social elements. That is okay. That is very bad. But the struggle, actually, this Vidrohi
Scientism.
Sanskritic Chalwar was started by cultural activists. And there is the cultural politics led by these people are actually made many changes. Pandharpur, the great Vithoba, was surrounded by the, what we can say, the Badwa, that is what we can say, Pujaris.
Right.
So, Badwe Mukta movement was led by this Vidrohi Sanskritic Charwal. And there were many singers. They worked for that. So if you take any struggle on the street, you will find behind that there are singers, there are street theater people, and nowadays there are reels, there are short films, there are many people, and they are singing and recording, shooting and publishing. So
Right.
this is a very important thing. Always the cultural activists are accompanied by the movement on the street.
Right. Right. That's totally true. And whenever you attend a rallies, political rallies in Maharashtra, you will always find people are performing on the stage. So before the speeches, people are performing. So
Yeah,
musical tradition. So what Sambhaji shared with us is experience with Datta Samant, one of the communist leader who was murdered by the Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. So he offered Sambhaji, I will give speech and you sing a song. So these two traditions. So and we see these things are going on in Maharashtra till today. And just giving the what somebody mentioned about the Vidrohi Sanskritik server, rebellious, revolutionary cultural platform. So this platform, they also asked questions to the elites, intellectual elites in India, and somebody wrote a very interesting song about them, and the name of the song is He Palakiche Bhoi. These are the palanquin bearers. I will just give you the gist of the song. We will, of course, provide the link of this song. We will add the link on the website. So this song, the Palakiche Boi, serves as a sharp critic of certain intellectuals and artists who continue to uphold ruling class and casteist power structures, metaphorically referred to as a palanquin bearers, Palakiche Boi. In 1998, during the centenary celebration of Brest's, Mumbai's mainstream literary scene remained dominated by upper caste Brahmin figures. In response, Sambhaji Bhagat joined a collective that established an alternative platform, the Vidrohi Sahitya Sammelan. Now he is the president for this year, a rebellious literary convention. He composed this song, He Palakiche Boi, to articulate the cultural and political stance of anti-caste thought and radical cultural work. We will upload the link for this song. So, Sambhaji, the one interesting thing that comes up, the anti-caste musical tradition, it not it's not limited to only the caste issue. Okay, it comes to the many different issues. It talks about the gender, class. Your songs that reflect, I shared your work in my last presentation, and talk about how you brought caste and class together and conjugated operation in your song, and I tried to articulate that as a term classed in the songs. And somebody he wrote a very interesting song after 1992 Mumbai riot, and the name of the song is Manus Marla. They killed a human being, and the gist of the song is, following the demolition of Babri Masjid in 1992, communal violence erupted across India, claiming the lives of countless individuals, both Muslims and Hindus. Among the victims were several of Sambhaji Bhagat's close Muslim friends who were killed during the Mumbai riots. While speaking with residents of the affected areas, Sambhaji was struck by a revealing contrast. The men often described the violence in religious terms, saying they killed people sorry they killed Muslims. In contrast, the women spoke in more humanistic terms, lamenting they killed people. This profound difference in perspective moved Sambhaji deeply and inspired him to write the song Manus Marla, a human was killed, with the central refrain, they did not kill a Hindu, they did not kill a Muslim, they killed a human being. I must thank one of our friend and very well-known researcher on the musical tradition in India, Rasika Azotikar, who created gist of these songs for one of our event in London. So I must acknowledge her efforts to prepare these summaries of the song. So these all prepared by Rasika Azotikar. So Sambhaji, my question is, can you just put light on how anti-caste musical tradition touched the different issues, the issue of caste, gender, communal rights in India, and why that was important for you to bring in your performances? Because you told you are writing for the people who are Dalits, who are exploited masses, but why you are dealing with the different aspects, different types of inequalities, not only the caste thing in your performances?
Gave very specific ideological viewpoint that caste is not only notion, it has very strong connection with material world, the production system, the other different things like environment, so it is not only caste, it is class, and women's are 50%. They're part of that caste structure. So when we are fighting against caste, we are fighting for class emancipation, caste emancipation, gender equality, then ultimately we have to think about our environmental things, how the ruling class is demolishing our our planet, how they are, you know, they have captured our planet. So ultimately, we have to talk about that thing. At the same time, we talk about religion because religion is a major force through which the ruling class is exploiting us. So ultimately, nowadays we have to talk about fascist forces because the fascist forces are, they have taken weapon of the religion, and they are saying that they will bring a religious state. But what is religious state for us? Again, they are introducing new casteism. So we have to fight against fascist people. We have to fight for human rights because every day they are raping our women. They are killing our people. You see the Adivasi villages were burnt. Many. So every day we are in the war situation. So we have to talk. We cannot say only caste, caste, caste. A caste operation is there. That is major operation. But who is actually what type of society they have created? There is a class. Through class, they are exploiting. There is a gender. Through the patriarchal system, they are exploiting. There is a capitalist people, those who are demolishing our planet, Vasundhara. They are killing our Vasundhara. So that is also a very important thing. So fighting against caste means first fight against caste oppression. But don't stop yourself. See our mothers, our sisters, they are also fighting for emancipation. They are the worst victim of the caste system. So we people are talking about women's liberation, talking about socialism, because Dr. Ambedkar said Brahminism and capitalism are both main enemy. So we have to fight against this both the enemies. Both the enemies have created sorrow for us, agonies for us. So we cannot say in the caste is connected to all these things.
Right, right. And I will, that what you mentioned is totally right. And researchers are trying to prove this now. The exploitation of the Dalits in India is not only the caste-based exploitation. They are connecting with the different aspects. And Sambhaji wrote a very powerful song about it that we shown in my last presentation. That song is Inki Surat To Pehchano Bhai. They are the friends of Hitler's, and somebody very interestingly connect the whole issue with the global capitalism, cyber capitalism, data capitalism, and it's a quite fascinating song. And I must tell you, somebody wrote this song many years before, okay, before right-wing government or the BJP government came into the power, and he predicted what's going on and how the sons and the spiritual leaders in India, how they are capitalists, they are just using the religion for the accumulation of capital. So, and I find that is a brilliance of Sambhaji just predicting that thing before the time, before the current ruling party coming into the power. So I will just connect the whole discussion with the current political situation in India. Sambhaji Dada, you are now a very active part of the anti-authoritarian movement in India, the political groups in India, and how the anti-caste musical tradition is changing themselves to fight against the current political situation. And you are writing songs about it. you are going in the masses talking about, now you are not only talking about the caste, you are talking about the democracy, you are talking about the authoritarianism, you are talking about the capitalism. So in the whole political scenario, what is the first, how you are dealing with the situation, and the second question, what is the future of anti-caste musical tradition in a contemporary situation? Are you optimistic about it? And of course, there are a lot of forces are coming. Technology is coming. Now people have access to the technology, YouTube and everything. So musical forms and expression is also changing. So yeah, can you put a light on everything together so we can conclude and then we can move to Q&A? Yes.
See, in today's context, India is a very peculiar characteristic. Dr. Ambedkar very clearly said in his very famous book, Revolution and Counter-Revolution in Ancient India. He said, there is a revolution, but after that revolution, the Manuwadis, the Brahminical forces, starts counter-revolution. And Indian history is a chain of revolution and counter-revolution. He described Buddhist, the Mahakaruni, Tathagat Gautam Buddha is a philosopher, the first philosopher who brought a revolution in field of philosophy. And that is the great revolution. After that, the Brahminical forces, after 400 years, they, Pushyamitra Shunga and other people, they started Vedic counter-revolution. So after that, you see the revolution in Maharashtra, Bhakti movement. The counter-revolution was launched by Manuwadis against Shivaji's regime. So Dr. Ambedkar says, always there is a cultural changes. And on the basis of that social and cultural changes, there people brings their own political power. Nowadays, you see, after death of Dr. Ambedkar, 70 years, after 70 years, the Manuwadi people started counter-revolution led by RSS. Now we have to see the left people, socialist, communist, Americanite, all these people are actually saying कि give us political power, we'll change everything. But now it is proved that there should be alternative cultural politics to emancipate our people. Without having that, the political powers cannot be continued. Today only in Bengal, all left movement, they lost election. Even Kerala, they lost election. I went to Kerala last year and I was talking to cultural minister of Kerala. I told them there should be alternative cultural politics. But they said, we have power, we will change it, we are changing it. No. We have to create our own alternative cultural politics. Without that, we just cannot defeat this right-wing RSS cultural politics. So this is a very important thing. Indian people, Indian political people should keep in mind. Now I will talk about anti-caste
Future.
cultural movement. See, Ambedkar is globalized. Now they cannot kill us. No, they are trying to appropriate Ambedkar. They are killing his ideological weapon. But people like you and me, we are organic intellectuals. We can understand Our forefathers were not able to understand what Brahminical forces are doing to them. But we can understand, we are understanding. Now there are many problems, but there is the amount of people, very big amount of people in Maharashtra, those who understood this thing. And nowadays, why I am shouting this thing? मेरा आवाज गया, यही काम करते करते गए 2 साल 2 महीने से मैं यही बोल रहा हूँ कि भाई हमारा खुद का, we should create our alternative cultural politics which will emancipate our people, mind, the conscious and subconscious. Without changing that thing, the political power will not sustain. Left have very good experience. Even Ambedkar, this Kachiramji, very nice person, very great person. And he was also saying, अरे मुझे सत्ता की चाबी दो, मैं चेंज करूंगा. No. Mayawati, she was 4-time chief minister. Now we don't have any power. So, but this is very interesting. That the amount of organic intellectuals are there, and I am very much compatible. I'm very much, okay, fine, because I see, I am Bhagat. I can see beyond time. There will be Ambedkar intellectuals will not allow Sangha Parivar to appropriate Ambedkar. They will try, they are trying, they are doing it. But no, till the last drop of our blood, we will fight for our father Ambedkar. Thank you.
Totally, and you clearly highlighted the importance and why anti-caste musical traditions should sustain in future and in what direction, because considering the appropriation challenges for the democratical values in India, and I will conclude with just reading the gist of one of Sambhaji's song. As I mentioned, now the anti-caste musical tradition is not only about the caste or the violence or the atrocities on Dalits. It's talking something beyond to build a fight against the authoritarian regime in India. And Sambhaji wrote a very interesting song called Sodwa Samvidhan. In English, we can call it Rescue the Indian Constitution. So the gist of the song: on 25th December 1927, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar publicly burned Manusmriti, an ancient text that sanctioned the caste hierarchy, oppression of Dalits and women, upheld untouchability, and prescribed cruel punishment for those who defied its rules. While Brahmins hold this text in high regard, Ambedkar set it ablaze during the protracted struggle for equal access to the public water tank in Mahad. This movement served as a powerful symbolic rejection of caste and continues to be marked as an important date until this day in the Ambedkarite forces. And it's very important to highlight, this year we are celebrating the centenary of the Mahad Satyagraha. Years later, in independent India, Dr. Ambedkar became the principal architect of the Indian Constitution, serving as chair of the drafting committee adopted in 1950. The Constitution is a transformative social document designed to establish justice, equality, and liberty. It enshrines fundamental right, abolishes untouchability, promotes affirmative action through reservation, and guarantees gender equality. Yet, in 2018, in a chilling act of reactionary defiance, certain Brahmanical forces were seen burning a copy of Indian Constitution in Delhi. This marked a disturbing moment in the rise of counter-revolution aimed at reasserting high caste supremacy. In response to this incident, Sambhaji Bhagat composed the song Rescue the Constitution, a passionate call to defend democratic values. As the song laments, there are few who stand to uphold the Constitution and many who seek to burn and destroy it. And the name of the song is Rescue the Constitution, Rescue the Indian Constitution. Thank you, Sambhaji Dada, for having this wonderful conversation. And we would be happy to hear you what you're going to deliver in Vidrohi Sahitya Sammelan, your presidential address. Thank you so much. And now I will hand over to Nicole for Q&A. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That was just been wonderful. This conversation has been so wonderful. I learned so much, So Abhishek, excellent questions, fantastic questions. But Sambhaji, honestly, your depth of knowledge, the way you have just summarized hundreds of years of history in such a succinct and beautiful way. It's really, you're an amazing speaker, right? You are enormously erudite. You call yourself an organic intellectual, and absolutely right. You've really showed what that means, and you kind of so eloquent. So we have, I know you have really important things coming up, so I want to keep it brief. So there's one question from the audience. I'll mention that first, but then if you still have some voice left, I'll also like to ask one question. So this is a question from Sushrut Yadav, and he says, "Dear Sambhaji and Abhishek, as you well know, there is a sudden interest in decolonization. I wondered if you might comment on caste and decolonization in India, specifically in relation to the psyche, the psyche and decolonization as well as caste, since you're the expert on intersectionality."
Yeah. Sambhaji, please go ahead. Yes.
What exactly asking?
नाही, प्रश्न असा आहे की जे डिकॉलनायझेशनची आता सगळी जी चर्चा चालू आहे त्याबद्दल, म्हणजे कास्टच्या अनुषंगाने तुम्ही त्याबद्दल काय सांगाल? म्हणजे आता सगळीकडे म्हणजे वसाहतींच्या जे सगळं जे घडलं त्याच्याबद्दलची जी चर्चा चालू आहे, तर आत्ता जी परिस्थिती आहे, म्हणजे राईट विंग फोर्सेस जेव्हा येतात सगळे ह्याच्यामध्ये आणि ते सातत्याने डिकॉलनायझेशन बद्दल बोलत असतात, तर त्याचं कास्टच्या अनुषंगाने तुम्ही कसं त्याचं विश्लेषण कराल?
Very interesting question. Right wing forces are talking about British people, British colony. Indian means India was a Britishers' colony, and they made different places, roads, and they are decolonizing that. They are saying, but actually, Britishers are looting our country. That is true. And we fought against them. Who were fighting? We people were fighting. The mechanical people are actually friends of British. So the decolonization related to religion, not the RSS people are thinking on ground of religion. They are saying they are Christians. So emancipate our holy land from Christians. So that is the same thing to Muslims. They are changing name of the different cities, roads, and keeping new names. Okay. But who were actually on the side of the Mughals? You see the Darbar, the documents, there are documents, they are serving them. So now what they are saying, they are organizing people on the name of religion, so-called decolonization. So this is not decolonization. They are actually concerning Hindu, on the name of the Hindus. They are actually wants monarchical state. And they are organizing Hindu on the name of the Britishers, Mughals. So this is the decolonization thing. Now the caste. We are fighting against caste. See, the Britishers are not. If Britishers might have not come to our India, what could be happened? They started new tradition. They started education. So they looked at us, but at the same time they have given some new things to us. So the great things given by Britishers or education, judiciary, and they said, no, the Kanun, the law is equal to everybody. Education to everybody. And they actually started, new civil life. So they have killed our people. They ruled us. That is okay. We thought it is there also, but we cannot forget that Britishers gave many new things to India. So now the project of RSS to decolonizing India is different. They were not part of freedom movement. They were not part of any war. They were always with the ruling class of India and ruling the imperialist people. So their decolonization is changing name is not decolonization. Changing name of that city is, you cannot say it is a decolonization. Decolonization is what? Imperialism. If we are fighting against Trump, America, that is called decolonization. American imperialism, fight against American imperialism. They are not saying single word. Modi is not talking single word against Trump. What type of decolonization is going on? So this is a whole farce. And we know we are lower caste people. We are still on the caste. We will fight against racism and we will fight against imperialism. Imperialism and racism. We will fight that. Thank you.
Right, right. I will add quickly 2, 3 points. The first thing, as a researcher and activist, I always think the debate of decolonization and decolonization from Dalit's perspective is quite undermined. Okay, what Dalit is thinking about colonization and decolonization. If you see the Indian drafts of history, Indian history, Dalits never got the chance to discuss these things. Now the new generation is coming, they are talking about this thing. But one thing we have to highlight that Dalits took stands about this, or the people from anti-caste movement they took stand from. If you take the example of Mahatma Phule, so Mahatma Phule was talking about the Sethji and Bhatji, means the Brahmins and the priests and the businessmen, but he also criticized the Britishers for not doing anything about the caste inequalities. Okay, that is the reality. And Ambedkar also, he was critical about the British rule. It's not like that everything is supporting, but what happens when we are connecting with the decolonization debate that we consistently keep talking about it in SOAS, and also I teach about it, I always find lived experiences of Dalits are missing about the colonial development. For example, if you read the work of Gale and recently and Anand Teltumde, they are consistently talking about how colonial development provided some opportunity for the Dalits, or that provided some space for the Dalits mobility. Okay, many of my relatives, myself, I'm in Latur now and my hometown. I know a lot of my relatives, they got the benefits of the colonial development. So our understanding of the colonization and decolonization is totally different than the Brahmanical forces, right-wing forces. When they said that India was very good country before Britishers, that means that there was inequality, there was caste system, there was sati tradition. And when they said we want to revive that, it's always a anxiety and panic situation for Delhi. Oh, what is the meaning of revival? Are you going to build that in Peshwai, the rule of Peshwa, that Dalits were they have to put some pot on the neck, and they have to spit in the neck, in the pot only. They have to put broom on their backside to just they should not leave their foot marks on the ground. So it's a quite anxiety. What is the meaning of revival? Okay, for them. It's a quite interesting, and what we have achieved because of the anti-caste movement in last 70, 80 years. For example, in my state, in Maharashtra, there is a clear divide is happening because of the current right-wing politics in India between the Mahars and Mangs. So it's a divide. So they don't want to Dalits united. They want to fragment them in a different identity and politics. So it's a quite challenging, and we need different lenses to understand what is the Dalits perspective about the decolonization. And I'm sure that a lot of people are working. We have to trace that. We don't just have to depend on the elite scholars from India, what they're talking about the decolonization.
Yes, thank you. Thank you both very much. And I see, Sambhaji, your voice is waning. So let me just ask a tiny question, right? A tiny question. And if you have something left, it's just one tiny question. Because you are so eloquent, you're a great speaker, but you say you've radicalized folk, but you also always wanted to be understood by your mother, right? And it's a different thing, and we're bringing the medium to your people, as you say. But and you describe the entire oral tradition, which was always a musical tradition as well, wasn't it? It's hard to take the music out of this oral tradition that you mentioned, this kind of countercultural tradition. So what difference does music make to you getting your point across? What is it about the music, the repetition, the sheer joyfulness, the tough message, but the joyfulness of the music that seems to be at odds but still work really well together? So that's my last question, and then you can rest your voice.
I remember one very interesting thing in my life. I was in class 8 and I was working in one hotel. And the school was actually for laborers, children. That is Mahatma Phule School. Actually full of laborers, children.
Working class children, yes.
Working class children. So what happened? I was in Panchgani, which was very good, very famous hill station, and there is the Sahyadri ranges. So early morning on Saturday, every Saturday, early morning they have to come from that villages to Panchgani for school. And there was a very strict PT sir, physical training sir was very strict, and he used to have very big stick, and they used to he was a military person, retired military person, and he used to
beat students, yeah.
Now, once upon a time, what happened? There was a gathering of school. Every school is having their gathering, and a student perform in that gathering. So I wrote a song against this beating children on Saturday. So Saturday you should not beat us. So the song was very interesting, and it was I started singing once more, 3 times, once more, and the teachers were they were their whole faces were down. Very next day, principal called me. And I thought he will expel from the school. But he was a very good person. He said, I was not aware about that thing. The people are beating you. Teachers are beating you on Saturday. You sang a song, very nice, very good tune, very good words, and now we will stop this beating. So this is a power of music. I learned when I was in 8th And then afterwards, I used music to fight against ruling class. See, only songs cannot make change. There should be a movement and song. If they will come together, then there is a change. 100%. It takes time, but 100% we will be success. So that's why I'm singing. The question was like this only, no?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. And of course, I ask a simple question and you tell a story because you're a storyteller, aren't you? It's wonderful. So thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you very much.
This important time. I know you're traveling around and you have this very important engagement. So congratulations again on this great honor that was bestowed on you. And thank you, Abhishek, for making this possible. This has been such a treat. Thank you. I feel honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Nicole. Bye.
Bye.